Discipline guide, 7 steps for you to understand how to become the best version of yourself, the most disciplined version of yourself. Everybody talks about being disciplined. Everybody talks about you just have to focus on that one goal and you're going to make it. But that's not the reality, to be honest, right? If you know it, if you're trying to be disciplined for over 10 to 20 years right now, or even just for a month or two, some weeks, you will realize that it is very hard. Also for the best people, also for the most obsessed people alive, it's always hard to be disciplined. But when you make it easy for yourself and go through that guide and implement these steps that I talk about, you will have it easier. I will never say that it is easy and that just be disciplined is the key. No, it is the mindset that you have to change, and some things that we're going to talk about right now. I'm a single mindset masculinity coach, and I will help you to become the best version of yourself if you want to. I'm your brother if you want to. So let's get right into the video. Number 1, if you only have short-term goals, for an example, in the next 6 weeks you want to get a six-pack and you're not making it, you will never be disciplined and focused enough to keep going if you're not making it. And that's the funny thing. You have to understand that there should always be a long and short-term goals. A good example, you want to have a castle in 10 years, but your short-term goal is to make your first 10K. Even if you do not make your first 10K in the next year, you're going to keep going. You're going to continue to grind because you have a bigger goal. And that's why it's so important to have long and short-term goals. You have to see yourself in the next 10 years and then know why you're doing something right now. It is always about the bigger vision in yourself, the bigger vision in your life, the purpose that you have to have. Number 2, very important to be disciplined, is the reason why you are doing something and for what. 2 things. When you look at my old videos, I always only talked about the why, but it's also very important to understand for what you're fighting for what you are disciplined. And I don't only mean your family right now, or your wife, or your girlfriend, or your best friend. I mean, it's connected with the bigger goal. What bigger goal do you got? Why do you want to achieve that? And what is the big thing for what you're doing all of that? Why you want to be disciplined? I know it's very easy to say I want to be disciplined because you see all of these masculine men, all of these successful people are talking about discipline, but why do you want to be disciplined? Understand that point. Why? What is the reason for you being disciplined? Now search through all the things you've already been through. So for me, for an example, when I had hard times and when I'm going through pain and when I see the short-term goal and the long-term goal, but I'm not focused enough and my leg is hurting and somebody wanted to kick me and all of that stuff, I think about the pain that I already been through. I think about my why. I don't know what your why is. You have to write it down. Give yourself a week to think about that shit. Could be the fact that you want to retire your mother, but you have to be more detailed, deeply into think in your thought process to realize what your why is. You cannot just say, I want to buy a house for my mama. Okay, you're not different. There's no difference between you and them. There has to be a difference, because when you fight for your life against a man that has a bigger why, that is not only wanting to retire his whole family, but has deeply pain, he will kill you right there, because you will not want to go through the suffer enough. You have to have a detailed goal, a bigger goal, a strong why. Number 3, stop resisting. What is discipline and why do we talk about discipline? Okay, when you think about jerking off, when you think about watching Netflix and you want to be disciplined, what you're doing is resisting. You're trying to not do it. You know, you think about not doing it. You say, oh no, but you don't understand why. If you know why something is bad for you, alcohol, sex, or distracted with women, Netflix, smartphone, do nothing with your life. If you know why it is dangerous for you, harmful, and will fuck up your whole life because you will never have the focus and always be, unconscious about your life, never be fully there, then you know why you're not resisting anymore. You now have that focus to understand why you're not doing something, and that is so fucking important. So stop resisting, understanding. That is the point that you have to understand. Number 4, environment. Many people talk about bad friends, and it's very important, because even if you have the best and strongest mindset, if your people around you always take you down and talk bad about you, talk bad about your dreams, you will never achieve anything. It is about the connections that you got. And if you have to be alone for I don't know, 2 to 3 years, that's life. Because then you will build up yourself to a person that will get all of the attention from other people. And now you can search and build your circle. But first of all, you have to build yourself in the lonely dark nights like Batman. Number 5, have a routine. It's always easier When you know what you have to do every fucking day. When you stand up, wake up, and you know you have to do your push-ups. Watch my Instagram stories every fucking day. I know, no matter when I stand up, even if I stand up at 10, even if I stand up at 5, it's better to have the same time, but sometimes we work later, you know. Sometimes we're up too late, and we still want to do the same shit. We're going to read, we're going to do our push-ups, we're going to stretch, we're going to go for a run. Because if you're not in your routine, you will be lost. And if you're lost, subconsciously something will feel off. You will feel off, and that's not a good feeling for you. So always have a routine. Trust me on this. Make it easy for yourself. And that's combined with the routine for me personally. Make it easy. Make it easy to be uncomfortable, okay? When you think about yourself, and right now you got your room and you got your PS5 there, and now you have to take the decision if you're going for a run or if you make your push-ups, or you're going to play PS5. You're always going to choose the PS5 if you're not that disciplined or obsessed with your dreams, because it's too easy to be unfocused. But you have to make it easy for you to be uncomfortable, and then choose the more uncomfortable thing. Okay, good example. If you got the choice to either run or do push-ups, but no other choice, no relaxing, no chilling, no Netflix, because you got no TV and you got no friends, you got no PS5, all of that. You got you know your room. You only got your room and yourself. You could either decide to run or do push-ups. Now you do the thing that you like more, but it's easy to be uncomfortable. So one of these two things you will do, and that's what you have to understand. Make it uncomfortable. For me, I hate running. I like push-ups. I'm not unfocused. I have to choose between these two. Yes, if you're really obsessed and if you're really focused on yourself and if you're really in that mode of discipline, you will run. But sometimes you will feel off, so you just do the push-ups. But it's always better to just do one of these two things than watch Netflix or do nothing with your life. So trying to make it easy to be uncomfortable. Number 7, last thing in the 7-step guide is accept that there will be days where you will not be focused, because that's the reality of life. Accept life. And you have to understand that I don't care what you have, if you're ill, if you feel trash, just do the things that you have to do. Sometimes you're 100% on that day, adjust your 80% of your full 100% potential, but that's okay, as long as you do something. I hope you understand what I want to give you with that video, the 7-step guide to become the most disciplined version of yourself. Become a masculine warrior. Choose to take responsibility over your own life, because you understand that no one is coming to save you, and become a man. Let's get it.